Last night a bitch nigga shot a real nigga. But we don't make no diss records, we just deal with it. Plus I be going through a lot, I never talk about it. And they using niggas songs in court, so I can't talk about it. Rap niggas think I'm dumb, like I don't see the play. I let them think they got the ups, then get them out the way. On FaceTime, my brother telling me he shot my mama, telling me to chill, but I know he seen that nigga face. But that's enough about that part. Talking about respect, well, it's a must about that part. Playing with my money, well, then it's up about that part. Cause when it's time to play ball, don't give a fuck about that part. They know I'm that nigga when they see me. Her man crush been a hater, and her little brother won't beat me. Her friend been on my dick since I was passing out CDs. Her baby daddy a mark, and her boyfriend probably a weenie. 3,300 on my book bag. Left some niggas in the past, but I don't look back. Shit kinda different, I ain't the man that I was. I seen death in too many forms, and I ain't never really shook that. Don't let him rock you to sleep, true colors better believe him. I know that God got me, but I be riding with my reaper. Praying with my kids, and even then I got my heater. And I be stepping so hard, as hoes in $1,000 sneakers. Take your bitch when I meet her, and you ain't seen her in about 3 days. Knew I was a threat, I passed that stick like a relay. Spin it back to back, it's like a motherfucking replay. Turn your son into a bitch when I shoot, I think I'm D-Wade. Told him I'm a savage, if I want it, I'ma have it. Playing with my lettuce, cook your head like a cabbage. Tell them that I'm rich and I'm solid, that's the advantage. Bitch, bad kids, fresh little nigga, you can't stand it. Tell them big checks, yardsticks, not a roof. All I smoke is ops and I don't never smoke a hookah. Looking for a blessing that's worth it, Jesus and Judas. Tell them niggas game 6, my whole team full of shooters. I slide on a nigga like a motherfucking flip-flop. Pressure on your homie and I promise he a flip-flop. Talking that wookie-woo, something. I know the police listen, so I ain't really saying nothing. I know these niggas envy, they can't manage how they feel. Jealousy's for bitches, you niggas pussy for real. A nigga get the drop and he happen to shoot. First we heal up and get back. We ain't going on the shirt, I swear to God.
That woogie-woo, something. Know the police listen, so I ain't saying nothing. Talking that woogie-woo, something. Nigga cock back and aim and leave you bleeding where you running. Swear to God, nigga.
What's the deal, y'all? We're Sharper tapping in 10 and Trap News Network. Back in the same, like cracking the same here at 10 and Trap News Network. It's that good news you use, that good knowledge you ain't finna get. Nobody's college, big dog. We all beach edition. I'm here with my girl family, and I just be out here chilling, minding my business, and I just gotta stay out the mix. If you be around your girl family, you know what I mean, and just stay out the mix. And that's what I'm doing. I call me a little corner. I'm away from everybody. I got my tree. Her sister asked me, kind of weird, but that's cool, bro. All right, but whatever. Anyway, that's what I'm on. Trap News Network, news you use, knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college, and I figure while I'm out here, why not give y'all some good Contiana, big dog? Make some chili, easy call, give y'all some good news. We're finna jump into this Contiana though. If you want to be a part of the Trap News Network family, you already know. Hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell on Instagram and all that. Wooty Bam YouTube, subscribe, Wooty Bam. Don't even worry about it. We finna get into the No Jumper universe. Let's jump into this. Let's go.
You speaking on Wally and Gilly saying that they looked at him in a certain way. He still was legendary in the streets when it came to being a gangster.
I don't give a fuck about
so
that.
Ain't
Ain't
what
we talking about.
So
we're not talking about no streets.
What was the thing? You said they got turned out by his book, but his book was only talking about street activities.
Yeah, but if we're talking about if we're talking about the overall of shit, I said, look, bro, I can't give him the overall because he never I transitioned. It's a fact. I did everything you want to talk about. We was doing. Now, for the last 20-some years, if I think you doing something wrong, you can't come around.
I feel like if we were to rewind the tape and go back to the Gillian Wallow episode, that the conversation you guys were having was about who was the biggest gangster, not who made the best transition. I think you're moving the goalposts now.
I'm gonna be real. The terminology gangster don't come from the petty street shit. It come from the motherfuckers that was in these suit and ties really conducting business. Now,
Caden, hold that play more steady than that. Maybe you should use 2 plays instead of 1.
Gangster mean a tattoo on your face. How many niggas you done shot?
Harper, let Dejanay help you, Pop.
That's on you. To me, when you say gangster, I'm going off these Godfather movies and these movies I watch.
Maybe you guys should all let Dejanay help you.
Nah, I'm not. What the fuck are you
Hold your play with 2 hands.
I think that like everything you do after that is you leaving the streets. That's you not being a gangster anymore.
No.
So when you was coming up, you wanted to be like the mob.
No, when I was coming up, I understood to be a gangster mean to control business.
No, but people always try to do this bullshit. They always try to say, you know what's gangster? Gangster is taking care of your kids and having a nice house.
That's a different thing. No, it's not.
That is a different thing.
Not from where we come from.
Gangster can't just have...
Adam's making a really good point. It can't just be that basic overall blanket of, oh, well, you know, taking care of your kids, blah, blah. Then you do the same dudes who say that you're not a gangster because you didn't do this, you didn't do that in the streets. Taking care of your kids and taking care of your family is a standard necessity of being an adult. Standard necessity of being an adult. Nothing crazy about taking care of your family and taking care of what you got to take care of your household as a man. That is standard necessities of just being an adult person. So there's nothing, extra out about it. Gangster, not gangster, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And a reference to Wack talking disrespectfully about Monster Cody, I just don't understand what the point is. But regardless of the fact, you know what I'm saying? We can chop back into this content.
Is taking care of your kids and having a nice house. That's a different thing.
No, it's not.
That is a different thing.
Not from where we come from.
Gangster can't just have
because
no
our daddies
meaning.
didn't do it. Nigga, our daddies forced us.
You can say it's the new gangster, but
Nah, ain't no
that's
new
just like you said, the transition from it. But when you was in the streets, nobody was growing up and thinking about the mob. We seen the movies, but
bullshit.
You got a little buddy?
not here for us.
No, what we was thinking about.
Put on your lap.
And this is why me and my crew in the early 90s.
Put your leg down. Put your leg down. Put your leg down. Put your feet flat. Don't move.
$5 for a $50 rock, and we transitioned to.
There you go. Just keep both feet on the ground. If you need help, I'll help you, all right?
And flipping, like my nigga, our whole perception of what that was to get to a point where we could own businesses, own real estate. So how could we get it? Well, we got profiles. Okay, well, niggas was doing this and doing that. And when we start figuring out we can buy that, flip that, sell that, refinance that, and bring it back real, then we knew we was on some gangster shit. Where did we get it from? Watching them Godfather. I studied Godfather. I still study it today. This is real shit. Because guess what? His whole goal was to do what? Become legal.
You think it's broken?
I took $4 million of music money, right?
So it's
I took $4 million of music money and went and created a motherfucking diaper company. Why? Because in my mind, this is my way of getting the fuck away from all of it. Even the music, because the music still keep you in the lane of some possible stupidity. Just real shit.
So you saying if somebody was involved in the streets, but they ain't do as much as say a Monster Cody, but they transitioned and became a more successful businessman, you will rank they gangster over Monster Cody?
That's a fact. Because if you still doing if you ever read the book Visions for Black Men, y'all check it out. It's a 110-page book by Naomi Akbar. This is the book that really made me check myself. Because if you would have told me what was in this book, I'd have got offended by it. It breaks down the transition from maleness to boyhood to manhood. Right? Your genitals is your maleness. When you know right from wrong at the age of 4, 5, 6 or whatever, now you in boyhood. How many niggas you know that's 35 still sleeping in the same room and same bed that they slept in at 12? Nigga, you still practicing boy shit. You still practicing boy shit, right? And I see some motherfuckers over here who come from the killing, the dope dealing, the drive-by shooting, the penitentiary, the yards, all the shit we done been through, and then transitioned, and now the niggas a realtor, or now
hold your plate up straight. Look at your food. Pay attention.
Nigga, yes, I'm gonna rate his gangster way more than the same nigga over here talking about I just took a deal for 12 all day.
But that's a small exception of percentage of what you putting. Most of them niggas that came, especially from y'all here, is either dead, smoked out, in jail, and none of them.
Development and growth is definitely a key, and it's definitely essential. It's definitely something that we all have to practice as adult males. But it doesn't change the fact that Wack is using all this as distractions to clean up the fact that he was disrespectful to the A-Tray gangsters and Monster Cody. So all this is just a huge distraction from the fact that he called Monster Cody a smoker, and now he's trying to clean it up. So let's just jump back into that.
Our era of outside of crime and stuff like that. So to say everybody was transitioning and trying to be like the mob,
everybody was transitioning.
I know, but you saying like for not to respect Monster Cody when for him he was fucked up, like you said, to maybe that got to a point of I want to just say PTSD, doing all that jail time and everything else. It's hard for niggas to even come back from prison right now with all this technology and still transition.
Okay, you're proving my point.
But I'm not gonna look at him and say because you got more money that his gangster is.
It ain't about more money. It's about what you're doing. The small percentage, right? Said it's a small percentage, right? Right. How many motherfuckers you hear screaming, I'm gangster, 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 but yet they're not doing what that small percentage is doing? Them are the ones I'm acknowledge. I'm not going to acknowledge these niggas that all they take is a 38, tattoos on your face, bust on a nigga, get high, and nigga holler some shit out and go to jail. Everybody doing that. But that small percentage who then did that on that level, in a treacherous way, and was able to find a way with a GED, a no fucking high school diploma, right, to create businesses, create a legal lane to where now I can look at your kids and they falling in that lane. I'm gonna respect that gangster. Gangster ain't to me putting in work.
I feel like we do this weird thing where we just use the word gangster to mean a lot of different things at the same time. Because, okay, if we were to go to the Jordan Downs right now and find some dude who hangs out there and he busts his gun and he sells drugs and whatever, he's a gangster. By the definition of what a gangster is, he's in a gang, he's doing gangster shit. Now, if that guy moved out,
I may call him a soldier.
Listen, you're talking over me because you know I'm right. If he moves out and he purchases a couple of different McDonald's franchises and he works at them and he manages them from day to day and he makes a great living for himself and he has a family, etc., that's gangster? Based on what you said, that's gangster. I think you should use a different word because it seems to me that the original thing he was doing was the gangster thing.
3 different places, 3 different states.
It's called being a successful businessman. Why call it gangster? That's a stupid use of the word gangster.
Show you the George Washington Bridge on cameras?
No, I don't care about
You
that.
want me to show you the resort in my backyard in California?
Why call that gangster when it's not illegal?
Because where we come from, right? At one point in time, I was taught putting in work, killing the enemy, doing some gangster shit.
And I agree. That is stupid. That's a waste of your life.
Then I realized the real gangsters, where the term come from, own shit, controlled shit. Everybody claiming they hood and niggas don't even own the real estate on their block. This is why they can come through and say, if you don't live in the projects, trespassing. We gonna tear this motherfucker down and we gonna gentrify it, right? The real gangster can say, you're not finna tear nothing down, I own this.
I'm just saying we shouldn't we shouldn't use the same word to describe a guy who's basically, committing horrible acts upon his own community with them becoming a successful businessman. If you use the same word to describe both things, then the word means nothing.
Listen, majority of people that come from that mob and that gangster shit, they grew up doing gangster shit. And then they created their organization with some structure and they start doing real business shit, right? You should know that.
They should pick up a different word.
How they gonna pick up a different word when they the ones created the word?
You gotta play with the sand back there.
They didn't create it.
Now you right by
You're talking about the Godfather.
Listen,
There's an earlier user
they
of
was
it.
here before us.
Right.
They was doing their shit before us.
Organized crime
So
has
when we
existed
heard
forever.
gangster, right? If they're already saying it and we don't exist, and we start adapting saying it, we can't say it came from us.
You don't want to eat?
But we just took it and said we're gonna water it down.
Now, excuse me, Adam is kind of making a point to take away all the quote-unquote gangsterism from Rap 100. The whole concept of being a man and providing for your family, I mean, I guess that's gangster, but in reality, that's just being a man. WACK is trying to turn into this whole like street salacious thing, and Adam is just like, no, bro, that's not what it is. That's not what we're about. It's not really making too much sense. And the route that you're going with this is just kind of off the wall. That being said, man, we're gonna take it around this last corner. As you can see, little by little, every episode, Adam makes it a point to make WACK look stupid. But we're gonna wrap this up.
Bunch of McDonald's and went and lived a clean life and didn't have to worry about the cops. There's no way that he would have been going around saying, hell yeah, I got 10 McDonald's, I'm gangster.
That's facts.
Why? Because he's not a retard.
He's right by technicality, but Wallow and Gilly was talking strictly the parameters of gangbanging.
They can't. That's
all they was
They
talking
can't
about.
because neither one of them are gangbangers.
Sure you can wait?
But when they reading his book,
They were in the
like
streets.
everybody else out of state, they just reading him gangbanging. They not looking at
Why
it.
did Wallow do all that time?
Nigga, for robbery. Nigga, you don't gotta be in the street to rob a nigga.
Are you sure you
gotta
can
be
wait?
broke, need some money.
So
There's
opening
no
up
nigga
a
to
Just come
rob.
on, bro. Can you wait or not?
Not breaking
Yeah.
the law is
Okay,
gangster,
say that.
but robbing people is not gangster.
No, what I'm trying to tell you
Just
is
use your
coming
words, bro.
up.
You can't wait. You can't wait.
What
It's
we
sweet.
perceive that to be.
Stop being a
It's
people
not
pleaser. I
really
tell you
what
about that all the
it
time.
was.
If you can't wait, bro, it's the bastard. You can't wait. You can't wait.
Ask yourself,
Come on.
the real gangsters of our world is the motherfucking government.
For sure.
Again, the word has no meaning if we're going to apply it to people who are working
I don't think he's understanding.
Without you just saying, that's why I said like now, because we can say smart is the new gangster and shit like that.
It's always been that.
Yeah, it has, but it ain't. You wouldn't. Well, I can say I wasn't taught that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only difference. I do understand it now. Yes, you should.
You was taught that.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you
Should I
was.
grow that? No, I was not.
The shit you went through. Now, you sure you want to have this conversation?
We can have this
I'll tell
conversation.
you why you was taught that. You know who taught you that? Your actions, your turmoils, you going through what you went through, you taking them 7 steps from that table to that window, thinking about the shit you did to be in here for all these calendars, right? That taught you what the not to do.
I said I wasn't taught.
No, you taught.
Life taught me.
Nigga, I taught myself some shit.
But you,
know what I'm saying?
Maybe like an older homie passing down the knowledge.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, nobody, you wouldn't.
How many of
That's
them?
what I
That's
think.
my point. It's a very small percentage. Nigga, one of the most gangsters niggas in our cities. And this city right here. Blush.
Let's just do some gangster shit over here.
One of the most gangsters, dude.
Y'all got less crashing out of.
On some real shit is my conception.
What's up?
I mean, he in a wheelchair.
A lot of good gangsters are, yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, if you understood the makeup of my conception, where he come from, all the shit he done did, he lost his legs, all this shit, but what he continued to do, niggas his own resorts out the country, right? I remember one day coming down Sepulveda Boulevard, and I'm like, that's a big ass house, so I pulled in to get a card from the people building it. I'm like, y'all building this house for? God damn it, it was Mike's house, right? So, when I first get out the joint, I said, damn, boy, this nigga Mike on some gangster shit, I need to get here, right? So, even though my first home I brought, it was already built, my second one, I watched me build, my third one, I watched him build it, because I was one of the goals of mine, right? I'm sorry, if some niggas think getting high and tattoos and doing time and killing your enemy is gangster, that's cool, I went through that era. With me, right? That nigga Birdman's a gangster. Straight up. That nigga got a 90-10 deal. He done sold over 1 billion records. He's still thugging. He talks ebonics, but he's legal. He's a legal entity, and he done made a lot of other black people.
Would he still be considered a gangster if he used to run a heroin empire and he got a ton of people killed?
He did what? He used to what?
Run a heroin empire.
And then he started running what?
Record
He
label.
took that money and started selling shit out the trunk, right? To a point to where it got them people's attention, and they came at him with some money. He turned it down till he took 40 million up front with an 80-20 deal, right? And never looked back, right? Now that's gangster.
It really seems like the gangster part was when he was running the heroin empire.
No, because the heroin empire is minimized.
Right. No, I agree. It's good that
The
he made it
longevity and him being free and being successful is on that side.
I just think we need a different word.
No, ain't no different. You're a white boy. You can't change our motherfucking what we doing, what we saying. If we telling the youth,
Wax an idiot, period, point blank. Adam being white has nothing to do with the conversation. He just has no real actual point. So when he has no actual point, that's how he goes about it. That being said, man, y'all know the deal. It's red down to the left. Y'all know the rest. Free Avenue Angels, so he's free. We go.